So in chapter 93 of the Dragon Ball Super manga, a miracle occurred? The scene that myself and other Dragon Ball fans took issue with of Goku not knowing what meditation was in the superhero movie has been changed. Now he's just surprised that Vegeta is using meditation as a form of training rather than not knowing what it is at all. So problem solved, right? Goku's character has been unassassinated. Well, not quite. As when you keep reading, you'll see that the parts of the script of Goku being an idiot martial arts novice meathead have been retained. The writing then gets very weird and terrible in brand new ways, as Toyotarou adapts the part of Toriyama's script regarding Jiren's strength stemming from his efficient yet relaxed fighting style, and then applies the same statement to Broly, Moro and Gas. He's now saying that these very power-focused fighters are actually these zen, relaxed fighters that are more skilled than Goku and Vegeta, which is just insane, since a major part of the Granola arc was that wishing for power doesn't make one skilled, and that Gas was just crazy. And on that note, in the very same chapter, Broly almost loses his mind again due to his overwhelming power, and now Toyotarou is saying that these guys are more spiritually in touch, skilled martial artists than Goku and Vegeta. But okay, Toyotarou is adapting the part of the superhero movie where Goku and Vegeta have their sparring match, and if you can say one thing about us Dragon Ball fans, is that we can overlook some dodgy writing if the fight scenes are good. Take Broly getting a billion times stronger from base form to Beerus tier in the space of 20 minutes, and the infamous example of Cell needing a nucleus in his head to regenerate even though Goku blew the top half of him clean off a few chapters earlier. So okay, let's see what Toyotarou is cooking here.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
Okay, what the actual is this page? This is some of the weakest choreography I've ever seen in a Dragon Ball manga. What's with all these speed lines? What's with Goku's kick? I've seen Toriyama put more choreography in one panel than this entire page. Like, it's so frustrating because I can't even call Toyotarou a bad artist and call it a day. He's just so inconsistent. Like, just look at chapter 95 with Gohan and Piccolo fighting the Gammas. He was cooking there. Just look at the dynamic angles, look at the choreography, look at Gohan's ki blast. Okay, wait, hold on one second here. Forget all this. Why is the Dragon Ball Super manga recapping the superhero movie in the first place? Remember Black Freeza? Remember the hype surrounding Frieza's brand new transformation at the end of the Granola arc? Remember when fans were speculating about a brand new Black Freeza arc? Remember the hype and excitement and fanfare surrounding that? Well, it's been over a year since that transformation was revealed and nothing has been done with it plot-wise, absolutely nothing. In my Granola video, I pointed out that the Black Freeza transformation was just a way to gain some cheap hype and excitement after that abomination of an arc. Okay. Maybe abomination is a bit too strong a word, but the arc wasn't really that good. It was shallow with no real narrative substance behind it, and as much as I enjoy being right, this still sucks. So let's make a roadmap as to how we got to this dire situation. After the Granola arc concluded, Toyotarou went on hiatus for 3 months, which is fair enough. Manga creation sounds torturous, and in fact, I believe more mangaka should take month-long breaks if they need it. And hey, maybe during his break he practiced on drawing kicks correctly. But no, instead he comes back with a prequel story to Dragon Ball Super Superhero, and here the writing was already on the wall for what was to come. But as for the prequel story itself, it's just mid. Like, I can't even summon energy to feel any type of way about it. It exists. It feels like a slice of life filler arc of Dragon Ball. Throughout all of it, there are about, 2 panels that are worth a shit. One with Goten vibing on the Nimbus cloud, looking like a lo-fi Dragon Ball beats to study and relax to YouTube video, and the other being Trunks and Dr. Hedo both being fans of Clean God was a pretty funny gag. But for the most part, it's a story wherein Trunks simps for a middle-aged woman, Goten is his sidekick with not much personality, and Mai is no longer her OG goofy funny Dragon Ball self. She's more of a serious girl kind of archetype, so she's also quite dull. This whole mini arc came about from a desire for Toyotarou because he wanted to make a Dragon Ball manga with Trunks as the lead role, but then Toriyama gave him the idea of just make an arc with Trunks as the main lead and make him a superhero along with Trunks. Thus we got this weird prequel arc, where Goten and Trunks are the new Saiyamen, even though Trunks thought the whole Saiyaman thing was lame in the manga, but whatever. Another thing that kinda confuses me is that this arc is clearly supposed to be a callback to the Great Saiyaman part of the Buu saga, which had the audacity to put Gohan's literally Hu classmates in the lineup along with the other Z fighters, because this is when Toriyama really wanted to steer Dragon Ball back into more of a light-hearted slice of life manga with a bit of superhero action, but Dragon Ball fans didn't really take to this, and I can't really blame them, as we read Dragon Ball for action, martial arts, battles. You know, it's a martial arts shonen battle manga. We don't read Dragon Ball for the climax of a story arc to be about asking a girl to prom or whatever. That ain't it. So to do over one of the least popular parts of the original manga with an inferior artist just makes no sense to me personally. Although in Toyotaro's defense, and I will defend him here, his original drafts for Goten and Trunks, they actually had muscle definition. But then Toriyama was like, wait, no, that's not gonna do. And he made them these weird string bean caricatures because according to modern Toriyama, this is the physique of an alien martial artist bred for battle. Not this. This is now peak performance according to Toriyama. Sheesh. But anyway, the bland prequel series ends with Dr. Hedo in prison just as he was at the start of the superhero movie. So here I was thinking it would be business as usual, with skipping over the movie, maybe giving it a couple pages summary and then getting to the next original arc of the manga. But nope, instead we got the news of an entire retelling of Dragon Ball Super Superhero. And it's not even an abridged one like the Battle of Gods manga arc, but a scene-for-scene recreation. Honestly, if it was sufficiently different to the movie, it could have been interesting, like how the Dragon Ball Super anime and manga are rather different. But nope, this is more or less Toriyama's script taken straight to the page, and not only is it boring, it's also a slog since this manga comes out monthly. We've been waiting months for story content that's already a year old and in a less visually engaging medium. We've gone from the movie itself to what looks like glorified storyboards some of the times. In fact, it sticks to the movie so hard that unique aspects of the manga canon Toyotarou made are being erased, like Gohan using Super Saiyan even though he said he didn't need to anymore while fighting Kefla and proceeded not to in the Moro arc, and Piccolo claiming Goku and Vegeta are as strong as each other even though the last time he saw them in the Moro arc, Goku had Ultra Instinct while Vegeta only had Blue Evolved. And then there's the whole situation with Broly's power level, as he wasn't even a contender during the Granola arc, but now everyone's scared of him. So this begs the question, why are we going through this? Are we being punished or something? Well, it's strongly suspected that because Superhero didn't do all too well in Japan, and because the Japanese audience is all that these Japanese companies like Toei, Shueisha care about, because of that, we can't let one of Toriyama's scripts go to waste because that would be sacrilege. So we're all getting a suppository of Dragon Ball Super content because the Japanese audience did not want to swallow the pill. But I guess once again, the writing was on the wall when the Japanese staff at Toei Animation working on the film were strongly opposed to it being in 3D, as stated by a producer of the movie, Norihiro Hayashida. Not only that, but remember that glorious 2D hand-drawn opening of the movie, the best part of the movie as far as I'm concerned. That part of the movie was made as a compromise with the lead animator of the film, Chikasi Kubota, who said he would only work on the movie if Toei let him animate said 2D recap of Dragon Ball. This ardent insistence that Dragon Ball stick to its 2D roots makes complete sense to me, as Dragon Ball is made for 2D right down to its very bones. Take a very minor quirk like Goku's nonsense Mickey Mouse hair, which is the same no matter what angle you view it as. That quirk of Dragon Ball just doesn't translate to 3D. But no, according to Toei executives like Murashita, we need 3D because 2D is old-fashioned and 3D is why Disney and Pixar rake in the big bucks, or at least they used to rake in the big bucks. As the mere poverty levels $124 million Toei made on the $8 million budget of Dragon Ball Super Broly just isn't good enough for them anymore. A over 10 times return on investment just isn't good enough for Toei, I guess. But to be fair to Toei, maybe they were onto something here, as Dragon Ball Super Superhero went on to just about surpass Broly in the worldwide box office, making it the best performing Dragon Ball movie in that regard. But that was probably due to Western fans starving for animated Dragon Ball content and generally wider availability to watch the movie, as opposed to the allure of Dragon Ball being in 3D, as it's worth noting that Superhero marks the first time ever that a Dragon Ball animated movie has made more money in a Western country than it has in Japan, as it made more than double in America than it did in its country of origin. But in an ironic twist of fate, according to Morishita, the amount of money it took to make Dragon Ball Superhero this 3D epic, the amount of money it took was so much that overall the movie was less profitable than Broly, even though it brought in more money. So yeah, I doubt we're gonna see another 3D Dragon Ball film again, or at least anytime soon. Even putting finances aside, from a strictly artistic point of view, making this movie 3D was completely pointless. Like, don't get me wrong, the movie doesn't look bad by any means, but it doesn't do anything new or exciting or unique with the medium of 3D animation, say like something that, say, Spider-Verse did. Had some nice cell shading and 2D drawings over the 3D models, but overall nothing was achieved that wouldn't have looked just as good, if not way better, in 2D like how Dragon Ball Super Broly was done. Totally Not Mark has an amazing video about just how good Superhero could have looked if it was 2D drawn in a more traditional manner. Check it out if you have the time. The whole situation of Superhero is just so weird, especially when you consider the film isn't that bad. It's actually alright, except for featuring one of the most creatively bankrupt transformations in Dragon Ball history. They just should have let Toriyama cook with a Piccolo focused film. But overall, I preferred it to One Piece Film Red, which I thought was going to be about Shanks, but instead I got the story of a J-pop idol with daddy issues. But on the note of One Piece, the absolute gulf in the marketing efforts Toei put in for these two films is insane. The movie was promoted so utterly poorly it doesn't even make sense. Remember the first trailer we got for the movie? It was absolutely abysmal. It had no dialogue, no intrigue, no hype. The main comment people made was that it looked like a video game. You'd think that since the 3D parts of every Dragon Ball film were easily the ugliest, you'd think Toei would put more effort to alleviate fans who were worried or put off by the new art style. Toei did a better job marketing Gear 5 Luffy's debut, and that was just the episode of a weekly anime series, and it got better marketing and more hype than a Dragon Ball Super movie. It's as though Toei thought they could just bank on Dragon Ball's name recognition alone, which did kind of work for them, but not in Japan, which isn't surprising because Western demand for new Dragon Ball Super content is still sky high, despite the anime ending over half a decade ago. So this begs the question, where the hell is Dragon Ball Super Season 2? To us anime fans, a truly great anime can be something more than just entertainment. It can be something truly profound, something that you can bond with other people over, something that can inspire you and even change your life. But for the corporations that actually greenlight and create said series, most anime are quite simply glorified 20-minute adverts for the franchise as a whole. Here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that if Toei got their way, we would have gotten Dragon Ball Super all the way back in 2007? Why, you ask? Well, it's not because Toei wanted to do a kindness to Dragon Ball fans who were starving for content and looking up stuff like Dragon Ball AF. It's because at that point, Dragon Ball's marketing sales were down, as the property, the franchise, was beginning to fade from the public consciousness. But when Toriyama's old editor, asked him on behalf of Toei to help them make a new series of Dragon Ball because they didn't want another GT debacle on their hands, Toriyama said no. But since they didn't want another GT debacle, they decided to remaster Dragon Ball Z footage, cut out some of the filler, and bam, Dragon Ball Kai was born. So there it is. In its most cynical form, most anime series are just adverts, with an important relationship between a series' anime and manga, with the anime acting as a promotional series for the manga, as a great anime adaptation can cause a series' manga sales to soar. Case in point, just look at Demon Slayer. You ever wondered why some of your favorite anime never got a season 2 even though the manga continued? That's why. Like, I will never get another season of Hajime no Ippo because it turns out Japanese boxes don't make for marketable plushies. But you may be thinking, Cage, you are as foolish as you are wise and handsome. The Dragon Ball Super manga has not one, but 2 complete arcs that a Dragon Ball Super anime could adapt and promote. Why don't they just do that? That's a good point, but the relationship between the Dragon Ball Super anime and manga is just very weird. You see, in a rare reversal of things, the Dragon Ball Super manga was made to promote the anime instead of the other way around with the original airing and serialization of the OG Dragon Ball series. Then the manga gradually became its own distinct entity and an entirely separate line of Dragon Ball Super according to Toriyama and the director of Dragon Ball Super Superhero. It's why virtually no Dragon Ball Super manga exclusive content makes it into video games or other arms of the Dragon Ball franchise. Like, forget completely new characters like Moro and Granola, not even transformations for pre-existing characters like the ever so popular, even though all it did was drop the whole arc, Ultra Ego Vegeta isn't even in Dragon Ball Legends or Dokkan or Xenoverse or whatever. Besides all that, the Dragon Ball Super anime did what Toei and Shueisha wanted it to do. It put Dragon Ball back on the map, as Dragon Ball's merchandising sales exploded and even eclipsed One Piece. 5 years after Dragon Ball Super aired its final episodes, merchandising sales are still going strong to this day, and the franchise overall is still extremely profitable. Therefore, in a purely business sense, there's just no need for a Dragon Ball Super Season 2. The franchise is still profitable without an anime series. In fact, an anime series right now would just be an unnecessary expense for these media companies. And now there's even behind the scenes drama with V-Jump editor and Dragon Ball Super movie producer Akio Ioku now setting up his own company to try to grab the rights to make a Dragon Ball Super anime from Shueisha, which all this infighting may explain the mystery behind the Dragon Ball Super 2019 new series that we just never got. Well, with all this drama, what can I really say? That is capitalism for you. You know what, with the current famine of Dragon Ball Super content, maybe I was too harsh in the Granola arc, you know? Actually no, it's still bad, it's still very bad. And if you want to know why I called it the worst canon arc of Dragon Ball, click this video over here. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the little hiatus, we are back to regular uploads. Anyway, like and subscribe if you enjoyed and stay locked into the cage. Peace out.